Hello there, peeps. What's up? This is ShikiYuki. As for this episode, iba naman yung approach natin dito sa video na to. So, marami na akong ginawang how to play videos, and this time, magkakaroon naman tayo ng board game recommendations. So, it's been a month since nagkaroon na tayo ng quarantine dito sa Philippines. So, maybe it might be an opportunity in its way that you might want to buy board games para meron kayong time leisure or pastime during the quarantine. And then, yung mga i-recommend ko naman, rest assured naman na they're still available here in the local market. So, you can just ask your board game retailers here in the PH na baka meron silang kopya or what. Pero, I know that there are some local stores na nagbebenta pa rin ng mga ganitong klaseng laro. So, without further ado, let's get this started. So, 15 yung mga i-recommend ko sa inyo from A to Z. So, simula tayo kay A. So, A is Arbos Apfel. This is a dexterity game which is objective niya is to get rid all of your components in the game. So, there are actually 3 pieces here in the game. Siyempre, lalabas ko muna. So, ito na yung mga 3 pieces. Kung nakikita nyo, this is the branches. Ito naman yung apples, kahit mukha silang cherry. And then, these are the leaves. So, as I mentioned kanina, to win the games that you have to get rid all of your components or pieces na meron ka. Initial setup kasi ng games that these pieces will be distributed evenly to all among players. This is a 1 to 6 player game, so pwede kayo maglaro ng solo play kung gusto nyo. So, the initial setup, iyan, iikot nyo tong that looks like a trunk of tree, and then i-place nyo lang sa ayan, hindi nakikita yung board. So, nagay ko lang dito. So, ayan, ganyan lang siya. So, umaalog rin siya. You can actually tweak the game's difficulty na mas umaalog siya. Pero, if you want it to make it more easier for the game, hindi siya umaalog. Simple as that. Per player, they'll be placing pieces here in the trunk of the tree. Isang piece per player. So, pwede kayo mag-play ng kahit ano. Basta, pwede rin leaves. Something like that. Rule nga lang dito sa game na to, pero kayo bala kung gusto nyo magkaroon ng special ruling. Rule is that you can only use 1 hand in the game. So, you cannot use 2 hands. Parang sungkit. Gonna keep placing components here in the game. If ever there's a circumstance kagaya nito, may nalaglag, that ends your turn immediately, and then you take all of the fallen pieces back sa kamay mo. So, yun yung dahilan bakit medyo a bit mabilis tong laro na to. Pero, medyo a bit challenging yung laro na to. Especially if you're gonna be including this deck of cards. So, yung deck of cards na to is that besides playing the basic version of the game, you can make the game a bit more complex by using this deck of cards. Per active player, pag turn mo na, you'll be drawing the top card here. So, in this case, sinasabi dito ng top card is you have to place 2 apples. If ever mo naman nalaglag na piyesa dito sa tree na to, you have to take it all back, and then that ends your turn immediately. The player gets rid all of his components or piece dun sa tableau niya o yung personal file niya, wins the game. Okay, proceeding to letter C is Casa Catch. Casa Catch is an auction bidding game wherein ang objective ng player is to get the most points. To get the most points, meaning you have to be a bit cunning. Kasi you'll be fish vendors dito sa laro na to. So, you'll be having your own personal board here. So, merong 4 sides. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides dito per player. So, you can place your fishes here dito sa ano na to para makapagbenta ka. Ito, you'll be storing it sa ice bucket mo or whatever you may call it. And then this is the trash bin. So every player will have an opportunity to become the auctioneer dito sa laro na to. So magkakaroon na naman tayo dito ng improvised table. So gamitin ko yung box. So, ayan, for example, ito yung deck of cards in this game. So auctioneer starts the bidding. So for example, ayan, flip niya. 1 eel. Sinong bibili ng 1 eel? So ayaw niyo bumili ng eel. So dagdagan ko pa yan. No problem. So this is the Joker. Joker 3. Wala pa rin bibili. Joker is considered as a wild card dito sa laro na to, so it can be categorized as any type of the fish. 3 Founder, walang bibili pa rin. 2 Crabs, wala pa rin bibili. The auctioneer is just gonna keep on popping up cards dito sa laro na to. And then, whoever gets to ring this bell is the player who will be getting all of the cards that is bidded in that round. So, the player who won that bid has to pay $10. So, ito yung monopoly money. And then, that auctioneer gets a number of money per fish or per card na binit niya. In this case, let's say, ayan, 4 gold or 4 money. Tapos, during the active players turn, bali yung mangyayari is that magbebenta siya ng set dito sa niya, sa player board niya. So, you can only place one of the same set. It cannot be multiple sets. What I mean is that, for example, dito, this is a set of crabs, which is nalagay mo na dito sa player board mo. And then, these are the set of eels naman on the second board. No problem with that. Pero, crabs and eels lang yung pwede mo ilagay dito sa dalawang areas na to. How can you sell them? Pag active turn mo na before starting an auction, you'll be removing them dito sa bag mo and so that you can get your money with the selling price. Selling price is equals to the number of sets na makokolect mo dito sa board. So the higher the better. Pero if there's a circumstance that you cannot place any of the cards to one of your sets dito on one of these, you have to put it into trash bin, face down. And then what happens is that at the end of the game, the number of cards here in your trash bin is minus the points. So you better watch out for that. And then during the games that mangyayari, merong half price. So habang hindi pa lumilitaw yung card ng half price is that you can sell the cards for full price. Pero in the mid game dito sa laro na to, you have to sell it for half price. Basically para magko-close na yung market. Then pag nag-close na yung market, count the total number of wealth. Whoever has the most wealth in this game wins. Next naman is Deca Slayer. So I made a how to play video for this game. So if ever you haven't checked it out, you can go and check it out. Synopsis dito sa laro na to, you'll be adventurers or guild masters dito sa laro na to. There will be 10 trials that you have to face. Dahil dito sa kingdom na to, nagkaroon ng prophecy, which is you have to defeat 10 monsters that's going to be dealt dun sa kingdom na yun. One of those monsters, which is ito, the dragon. So you have to defeat the dragon at the 10th round or 10th trial in this game. The game consists of 10 rounds. Bale, you'll be adventurers, as I mentioned, or guild masters. You'll be recruiting warriors. So, maraming warriors. So, let's give you an example. So, samurai here. The samurai has these 3 basic stats. So, kung makikita nyo yung stat na nandito, basically melee, magic, and then range. And then, to defeat the monster, you have to play with the matching iconography dito sa card na to. In this case, for this basilisk, you have to play 1 mage and then 1 range character. Total power, as indicated by this card, whoever has the most power in that round wins this card. And then they can get to choose the treasure for this game. So, maraming treasure cards dito sa laro na to. First and second player gets to choose treasure cards. Pero third onwards, hindi sila magkakaroon ng treasure cards. Pero meron catch-up mechanism dito sa laro na to na they can get to recruit more adventurers than the first and second player na nanalo with that trial. And then at the 10th round, whoever has the most victory points wins the game. If ever there are tied players in the victory points, the player breaks ties who has the most number of treasure cards. Then, if ever meron pa rin tie dun sa number of treasure cards, those players share the victory. Congrats! Next, proceeding to letter E is the Enchanted Tower. So, Enchanted Tower is basically a children's game. Actually, simple lang yung mechanic niya. Objective ng game is to find the key and then unlock the Enchanted Tower. Basically, ito yung Enchanted Tower. So, may storya itong laro na to. This is the princess. So, ito yung prinsesa. And it's locked dito sa Enchanted Tower. And the wizard, who knows where the key is hiding, is gonna be hiding these keys to one of the holes dito sa laro na to. Sabihin natin, tinago ko dito sa hole na to and then tinago ko dito sa hole na to. Bale, the prince or the player who is acting as a prince has to look away muna bago the wizard has to hide the key. After hiding the key, the player who is the prince can now open his eyes na. Then, ganito yung setup ng game. The tower will be placed here. Tapos, the prince can be placed in either of the dotted lines dito sa board na to. So, sabihin natin dito. And the wizard has to be placed dito sa pinakababa ng board. The reason is that is meron siyang player advantage. Alam niya kung saan yung susi. Then, ayun, magro-roll lang sila ng die. So, sabihin natin, actually, first player na magro-roll ng die is always the prince. So, what happens is that, ito, na-roll niya is magician or the wizard. Bali ang mangyayari, he has to move the wizard 3 times dahil ito yung highlighted na color which is 3, na blue. So, 1, 2, 3. So, active player gets to move the player's piece in any of the board. Pero it has to move forward. It cannot move like back and forth sa laro. If ever there's a circumstance na nangyari is that, ayun, dumikit yung susi, that means that player has an opportunity to try one of the locks here dito sa tower. Ayan, pag na I'm a bit lucky to there. If ever man, nag-pop up yung princess dito sa tower na to, that player basically wins the game. If ever man na nangyari, player didn't get the opportunity na mapop up yung tower, the wizard has an opportunity to hide it in one of the holes here in the game again. And then the game proceeds. If ever man there's a circumstance, the wizard wins. So parang ganun lang rin, same mechanic, the wizard wins the game, which is the story tells you that the wizard eternally or forever locks the princess to the Enchanted Tower forever. Which is yung prince doesn't have the opportunity to save the princess ever again. So that's the story, or that's basically how the game works. Next naman sa letter G is Ghost Blitz. So, Ghost Blitz is a dexterity/pattern recognition game. Objective ng game is to get the most points in a specific number of counts. So, components ng game, there are the deck of cards and then these 5 different components which I'll be emphasizing. This is the white ghost, this is the gray bathtub, this is the red carpet, this is the blue hair comb, and then ito naman yung green frog. This is Ghost Blitz 2, so there are a lot of variations in the game, so for sure marami silang mga binibenta. Up to you kung ano man yung gustong version in the game. It actually adds variation, pero you can just go and check it out sa Google kung ano man yung variations na itong laro na to. Pero on a normal game, the active player checks the card immediately, like flicking it upward, hindi inward, kasi ikaw una makakita ng card bago ma-flip lahat. So, other players has to know the card first bago malalaman. So, in this manner, hindi ko makikita yung card na to kung wala akong camera sa on account, parang walang counting. So, basically, you just flip it kagad immediately, like flipping this in a manner na flip, flip, flip. Kung hindi nyo nakikita sa off-cam kasi. Pero on-cam, mabilis yung pag-flip ko and then it just stays on the board. Kung ano man yung nakikita na icon dito, in this case, ayan, may blue hair comb dito. One of the players, kasi ano to, simultaneous action to, all players has to get this right icon or right item na naka-provide by the card. And then whoever gets the right item gets this as a point. Tapos, ayun, sabihin natin, the player who gets enough points, which is sabihin natin 10 cards wins the game. And then, another case, if ever man nakagana ng ganitong card na to, kung wala siya sa picture, you have to find the color and also an object na wala dito sa card na to. In this case, let's say, wala dito yung gray bathtub. Kasi, kung napansin nyo dito sa card na to, walang gray and then wala rin bathtub. Pero, merong blue, frog, and then the gray ghost. So, wala si gray bathtub. Dahil dyan, ito yung kukunin mo instead of the matching icon, which is itong blue hairbrush. Proceeding naman tayo kay H is Halli Galli. So, same mechanic lang rin siya kay Ghost Blitz, pero ang catch lang dito is that it includes math. So, it's also dexterity game / pattern recognition. Objective ng game is to be the last player standing. So, bali mangyayari, itong ring well na to, ilalagay sa center ng board, and then this deck of cards will be distributed among the players. Same rule lang rin, flip it face up. For example, ito yung deck of cards will be split immediately among players. So, let's say a 3-player game. So, 3-player game. Flip to, kita to. So, this is a 2 banana. And then, ito, na-flip ito. This is a 3 lime, or I think it's a green mango. Then, ito naman is, ayan, for example, ganyan. There's a circumstance na ito. Then, I flip again, and then, this player flips again. If ever man, ayan, there's an exact number of 5 dito sa discard piles. All players will have now the opportunity to ring the bell dito. Whoever rings the bell, all the discarded cards here will be picked up by the winner, and then the game proceeds to the last player na di pa nakapag-play ng card. For example, nanalo to. And then, let's say, ganito yung nangyaring opportunity sa laro. Ayan. Dalawang magkahiwalay. Pero, it counts as a total number of 5 of these specific fruits here. Ito nakikita nyo dito. That player may now ring the bell. So, paunahan mag-ring ng bell. Pag nakatama, ayun, lahat ng discard files will be given to that player. And you'll always be put here to the bottom deck, hindi sa taas ng deck. If ever man, there's a circumstance that player rang it incorrectly na hindi siya exactly 5, so no more or no less, that player has to give that card dito sa bottom card niya and then give it to other players. Whenever meron silang nakukuha ang card, it always be placed here to the bottom of their deck. Bali, may player elimination dito sa laro na to, kung napansin nyo. If ever there will be 2 remaining players na lang na matitira dito, magkakaroon ng sudden death match. Yung sudden death match is that players or one player has to ring the bell valid. Pagka ring ng bell valid, pag nagkamali, just proceed. Ayun, yung giving the punishment by taking one bottom card and then giving it to the other player. Then, pag valid na, kung sino man yung pinaka mataas ng deck of cards or whoever has the most total number of counts ng cards nila waits for the whole game. Alright, proceeding naman sa letter K is Kill the Unicorns. So, Kill the Unicorns is a take that / set collection game. Basically, the objective of the game is to get the most points. Ayan, yung mga different colors na itong unicorn. So, merong pink, yellow, green, white, kung tama ako. And then, these exclusive cards here. Tapos, these will be the black market, and then the characters here, meron sila mga sariling effects dito sa game na to. Basically, there are 4 phases na game. So, 4 phases na yan are scheme cards. So, sa scheme cards, ito yun. You'll be playing one of the scheme cards. It's either buff or debuffs that unicorn. Kasi per round, ang mangyayari, there will be 4 unicorns there. And then, during that first phase, you'll be drawing 2 cards from your scheme deck dito. Each player will have 8. Tapos, you'll be choosing one of the cards here. And then, this card na hindi mo pinili will be put to your discard pile face up. Tapos, ito, you'll be playing it to one of the unicorns. It either buffs or debuffs the score multiplier. Depending man kung ano man yung condition nitong card na to. Though, the problem nga lang is that you'll be placing it in one of the unicorns face down. So, you have to remember it. Then, mangyayari is that you'll be playing one of your hunt cards dito sa laro na to. So, hunt cards are, mga hunt ka or mga hanap ka ng unicorn. So, the active player or the first player will have an opportunity to either play 1 hunt, 2 hunts, or 3 hunts. Once na nag-lock in na siya to the number of hunts, all players have to play a number of hunts rin, the same number of the first player who played that cards. So, sabihin natin 3. So, 3 card. Pinilay ko tong 3 cards na to. And then, the other player has to play these cards here. So, sabihin natin itong 3. Then, mangyayari, comparing of influence dito sa laro na to. Whoever has the most influence dito sa laro na to picks that unicorn. And also, kung ano man yung nandoon sa unicorn na yun. The unicorn can only have up to 2 scheme cards. So it cannot exceed up to 3 cards or more. Then, mangyayari, meron ng black market. They can get to use their unused hunt cards. Parang yun yung currency. So, for example, sabihin natin sa hunt card na to, 4 points. So, yung 4 points na to, isipin mo parang 4 gold to. So, you can buy items to on sa black market and then gain that specific effect immediately. The game ends if, kung tama ako, umikot na ng 4 rounds yung game. Then, count the total number of sets and also victory points dito sa laro na to. The player who has the most points wins the game. If ever man there's a circumstance na nagkaroon ng tied players, ito ang masaklap dito sa laro na to. Both tied players voided their winning dito sa laro na to. The player who is now the second highest to both the players while the first players becomes the winning player. So, masaklap lang. If ever there's a circumstance nagkaroon rin ng tied players doon sa hunting for the unicorn, same rule rin applies to that condition. So, this game's harsh. Next, sa letter L, we'll be proceeding kay Liberatores, the conspiracy to liberate Rome. I also made a how to play video for this game. If you want to check out the detailed explanation, you can just go and check the video doon sa channel ko. Otherwise, for this brief explanation, I'll do what I can. Julius Caesar has liberated Rome. Kung alam niyo naman yung storya ni Julius Caesar, since meron siyang ginawang diktador. Joke. Objective ng game, depende sa faction ng card na nabunot mo. So, this is a hidden role slash deduction-ish game wherein you have to sway the influence depende man sa sides ni either ni Caesar or ng Liberatores. Majority kay Liberatores dapat eh. But there are times na wala kang choice talaga that you have to sway and influence dito sa side ni Caesar. Because you want to endorse citizen cards, which is itong mga cards na to Caesar to get some wealth. Kasi wealth here is important so that you can bribe and hire servants or the citizens to your favor. So, yung mga na-hire mo na citizens dito sa laro na to, or servants, you can either place it into your tableau, which is ito yung personal player board mo dito sa laro na to. And then, you gain that specific benefits. Depende man yung type ng iconography dito sa card na to. The game may be intimidating, pero I had fun with this game in a way that I actually taught this with a group of players and they had fun with it. Maximum na itong player count dito sa laro na to is 5 pala, by the way. So, 5 is an awesome experience if you want to play it fully. Side-tracking aside, ito yung golds dito sa laro and then ito yung influence tokens dito sa laro. Then, as you can see, ito naman yung mga identity cards. So, during initial setup, these cards will be dealt 1. Depende ba sa player count ng laro. Yung Republicans, there are from the Liberatore side. You have to sway the influence here dito at the end of the game. Pag agent sila, they have to sway it into Julius Caesar side. Pag umabot sa 15, automatic win na sila. To a certain extent na hindi pa umabot to some specific phase. Doon naman sa competitors is that Liberatores side rin sila. Pero ang catch is that they have their own personal goal, which is gaining much more influence comparing per player. So, hindi pwede mag-combine yung personal influence tokens nila, which is this one here, mga hinahawakan ko. Then, whoever wins that specific side, wins that specific side. So, mabilis lang itong laro na to. It consists of 7 rounds. So, sa 7 rounds na yun, either you endorse a citizen, hire a citizen, or bribe a citizen. Also, did I mention first player determination dito sa laro na to is that first player kung sino man yung kumain ng Caesar salad. If everyone wala, oldest player. So, this might be your thing. Proceeding kay M is micro robots. Basically, bali ang mangyayari, there are 4 modular boards here dito. So, every start ng game mo, nag-iiba yung board. So, you'll be laying these 4 boards dito. By the way, you'll be using the silver side. 2-sided kasi ito. For the basic game, this is the basic. Hard version yung copper side. So, keep that in mind. The robot will be placed in one of the numbers here by the dice na i-roll mo. So, for example, nag-roll ako. Ang lumabas is blue 1. So, blue 1 mo lalagay dito. You'll be placing this transparent chip in one of the numbers here as well by rolling yet another dice set of dice. In this case, yeah, red 6. I actually taught this game dun sa how to play video ko. So, if you want to know the game in more detail, you can just actually go and check it there. Basically, paunahan ito by mental math. Itong laro na to. Mental math, I mean, the player who gets to mention the number of moves exactly dito sa robot neto. In this case, ayan, sabihin natin 7. the robot has to move exactly 7 until na umabot siya sa destination nito, which is yung red 6 na to. Pag sumobra, ibig sabihin nun, he has to pay his victory point dito sa laro na to. Then, player gets 5 victory points dito sa laro na to, wins the game. If ever man nagkaroon na naubos yung victory point and chips dito, dahil as I mentioned nga, unlimited number of players yung pwede maglaro nito. Player who has the most points wins the game. If ever there's a tie players share the victory. Proceeding naman sa R, we have Rapids. So, Rapids is a party game which is similar siya to Uno. The reason is that ang objective na itong laro na to is to get rid all of your cards. And did I ever mention that this is also made by a Filipino designer? So, you might want that. Basically, yung setting na itong laro na to is inspired by the white water drafting sa Cagayan de Oro. So, components ng game ay itong deck of cards na to, including with the helmet card, which is like the leader card for the game. Itong raft na to will be placed at the center of the board. Hindi na makikita yung board natin. Then, there will be 4 types of cards, which is yung turn, hold, drop, speed, and also the 5th card, which is I'm the guide card. Basically, one player becomes the active leader and commands the other paddlers. Paddlers yung tawag dito sa game na to. So, sasabihin ng leader in one of the hand cards na meron siya, everybody turn right. Pagka turn right, he has to play the turn card facing sa right ng raft. Which is, yan, kagaya na ito. Whoever done it last, kung sino man yung nakita ni guide, the player has to draw the number of cards doon sa naka-indicate dito sa ano na to. Bottom right na to. In this case, that player has to draw 1 card. And then, long story short, ayun, they're gonna keep on playing cards dito sa game na to. And did I mention that the guide can play the multiple sets of the same card. So, medyo malakas din yung guide. Pero if there's a circumstance the player only has I'm the guide card yung sa kamay niya, no choice siya but to reveal that card and then draw 2 cards sa deck na itong laro na to. If there's also a circumstance na naubusan ng deck of cards itong laro na to, the discarded cards will be reshuffled and then make a new deck naman. No problem. Player gets rid all of his cards, wins the game. That's basically it. And also, I made how to play video dito sa laro na to. So if you want to know how the game works, you can actually go and check it out there as well. The next game naman is Space Dogs. So Space Dogs is a strategic game that are for dog lovers. Pwede rin naman neutral lovers. Pwede naman rin hindi dog lover. Basically, it's a strategic card game that is a dog theme. Bale, yung components ng game na to are these space cards and then itong earth cards. So, earth cards are like contracts dito sa game na to. Story setting na itong laro na to. The space dogs na walan sila ng bahay and they found planet Earth, which is, as the player, you are the dog agencies, which is you have to look homes for those dogs. So, yung contract na to, naka-provide dito yung requirement ng card. So, you'll be getting 2 points, and then to get those 2 points, you have to play 2 dogs with the level 4 health of each of those dogs. Bale, ito, yung nakikita nyo makapal na cards na to, these are the space stations. Yung space stations na to will be set here in front of the board. Then, yung contracts na to will be played at the center dito sa space stations na to. And then, each player will be drawing 5 cards dito sa laro na to. And then, there are specific cards which is, ayan, kagaya nito, these are the event cards which is highlighted by green. And then, there are the cards like here, ayan, nakikita nyo. And these are the upgrade cards. If you want to know more about the game, you can actually go and check out rin dito sa channel ko. Actually, I made a lot of how to play videos dito sa mga laro na meron ako. So, you might want to check it out. And also, this is also made by a local game designer. So, kung gusto niyo mag-support sa Filipino designers, you can purchase this game as well. Basically, this is a strategic game wherein you'll be using your action points to play your cards, right? The player who has the most points wins the game. Game triggers or the game ends if one player gets to get enough 10 points or more. Then all players will have their equal number of turns. If ever there's a tie breaks if ever man the player has the least number of contracts. Proceeding with this game, which is called Step Epic Heroes. This game is a set collection in its way. Objective ng game is to get the most points as the usual. So these heroes are the greatest minds in the history. So makikita mo dito yung mga characters like Galileo Galilei, Nikola Tesla. The game will give you this actions na you have to play the hero cards so that you can get the discovery dito sa laro na to. So kung alam niyo naman sa TCs, di ba mayroong 5 steps. So parang the game ends if a player gets to gain all of the 5 steps into a specific STEM. So STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. So if hindi mo alam yun, I can probably just go and mention that. So you'll be playing a card and then gaining the discovery here. So kailangan mag-match siya doon sa icon ng card. So in this case, this is a Polymath. Polymath is considered as a wild card. It can take one of the discovery cards here in the game. So, and then it'll be placed here dito sa personal tableau mo na dito. Then the heroes can also equip enhancement cards. Enhancements maximum of 2 per hero. Otherwise, meron sila specific effect that they can gain additional or more. So basically, sa bali mangyayari, yung 2 maximum na yun are the icon cards and the location cards. If you want to check the game out, you may also check rin naman doon sa channel ko. I actually made a how-to video for this one as well. Proceeding to another S game is Super Rhino. So Super Rhino is a dexterity game. Objective ng game is to get rid all of your cards. Madali lang tong laro na to. Composition ng game is that you'll be having these walls here. And also the deck of cards, which is meron silang mga foiled abilities, which is here. Nakita nyo mga foiled. So, story na itong laro na to, the Super Rhino is looking for bad guys that he has to face. But the catch is that every player will need to help him by stacking his deck of cards. These are your inner walls or yung wall cards, and then ito naman yung deck of cards. So this will be shuffled and then distributed to among players. Each player will have 5 cards. So 5 cards na yon, kung ano man yung nakasulat dito ng icons na to, they have to activate that immediately. Ito, kung nakita yung border na to, easy difficulty to. And then ito naman is hard difficulty. We place it here at the center of the board. Kailangan natin imaginary board ulit. So lagay ko dito yung card na to and then the balls will be placed here. One active player has to place 1 card sa taas ng stack. Kung ano man yung naka-highlight dito sa card na to, they have to do that same icon or routine. And up to you kung ano man yung ruling dito sa laro na to. You can use 2 hands or 1 hands. Pero syempre, yung kaya naman, yung hindi yung bibig yung gagamitin. Kung nakikita nyo, this is Super Rhino. Si Super Rhino will be placed here to the Super Rhino card. Kung saan man yung icon niya dito sa card na to. In this case, dito sa side na to. Despite that hindi nyo nakikita. Kung hindi nakikita, ayan, ito. Ito, si Super Rhino. You have to place it after placing the walls like this. In this case, yung highlight nito. Yung nakita nyo ng card. So, if ever man, nagawa niya to, that player doesn't need to draw cards. Kasi nga, the objective of this game is to get rid of your cards. The next player does it so by placing yet another card here dito sa taas. If ever walang foiled abilities dito, like this card, you don't activate any specific abilities naman. If ever there's a circumstance, the tower falls, like this one, the player just solely loses the whole game. Then, proceeding naman tayo sa next game, this is called the Rolling Witch. So, this is a semi-cooperative game slash dexterity-ish. Basically, objective ng game is to get the most points. So, to get that, bali mangyayari, you'll be using this board right here. Components ng game is that you'll be using these trees here, which is actually it will take time for me to set up, but I can show you how the game looks like. One moment lang. So yun, medyo na-fast forward tayo. So ito na yung setup ng board mismo. So it is a 3D board in its way. The game is set up in this manner. So kung nakikita nyo, merong foam itong laro na to, which I'll explain later kung bakit may foam to. The reason is that meron tayong witch dito. So, story na ito kasing datong laro na to is that medyo burara yung witch. Nakalimutan niya kung saan nilagay mga relics or artifacts niya dito sa laro na to. And then also, time pressure tong game na to. So, kailangan yung one specific team has to collect one of the artifacts here. So, ito yung artifacts, then they are all played face down. Tapos, on a count of 3, they have to reveal it face up. So, ayan, 1, 2, 3, for example, ito. Yung brush na to. Yung brush na to, what happens is that, kung nakita nyo, merong itong mga pegs. Yung pegs dito sa side ng board. To move the witch on the board, you have to shove it like this para mag-move yung witch. Like that one. So, kung nakita nyo, nag-move yung witch. Actually, nakikita mo naman. So, it moves from there. If ever there's a circumstance na nalaglag yung witch dito to one of the holes, or kung nalaglag yung hat niya, that team automatically loses, even though na meron silang oras dito. So, if ever there's a circumstance, ayun, kung nakita nyo, merong mga circle dotted areas here. Nakita nyo, na ito, and then this one as well. Hopefully, nakikita kay camera. What happens is that if ever man yun yung na-flip na icon, itong tile na to, the team gets that specific number of points depende man sa before the time runs out or before sila natalo. So, for example, tatlong ganito, that means the team gets 3 points, which is the points is indicated by the berries here. Also, during initial setup, they'll be one of the gnomes in the game. So, ito yung mga gnomes, iba-iba sila mga kulay. Depende man sa number of players, merong number of rounds rin. Pag umabot na yun sa specific number of rounds, count the total number of points in the game. Whoever has the most points wins the game. The last game, but not least, is of course the very famous game here dito sa Philippines, which is this game. This is just a recent hot game na maraming bumibili talaga. The game is called Talinghaga. The game is by buying / word game. So, isipin nyo para ka naglalarong Scrabbles but a card game. Objective ng game is to get the most points. It consists of 3 rounds. And then you'll be making out words through a by buying system or by buying writings dito sa cards na to. So, components ng game are these marbles here. Then, there will be cards here. So, maraming cards. I think there are like 90 of it. Tapos sa 90 na yon, there will be a specific number of syllables, which is the ba, the ta, the na, dalaglag. Then the pa, etc. etc. Then dito sa likod ng card makikita nyo, ay dito sa taas yung complete, and then dito sa baba yung sabat. Tapos, ito naman yung rulebook nitong laro na to. Actually, a lot of people doesn't know that this is two-sided. So, Tagalog is in this side, and then sa likod naman, if ever ba, English, yan dito. So, kung gusto nyo malaman itong laro na to, actually, Board Game Hero made a tutorial for this game, and also one specific board game enthusiast such as I. I haven't made a tutorial for this game, pero this game is very simple lang. Basically, you make words out of Tagalog words with the use of the cards dito sa laro na to. And you can also use other players' words by manipulating them, but you have to play cards for that word para i-change mo so that you can get additional points. And then, lay out your pamato doon sa word na yon para at the end of the game, you'll be scoring the number of cards na nakuha with your pamato. And that wraps up for this video. So that's 15 all game recommendations. You might buy something to one of the recommend dito sa video na to. So wrapping up the video, please do drop something in the comments if everyone meron kayong mga questions regarding this game mechanics or any other violent reactions or whatnot dito sa mga nirecommend ko. Then, don't forget to subscribe so that you can get to see more of my updates in regards to mga in real life videos ko at sa mga gaming related contents ko. And then, also like this video kung nagustuhan nyo. And then, share this to your friends para alam nila that there's a board game recommendation during this quarantine period. Kung, ayun, gusto nyo magpalipas ng oras with your family or friends na syempre, dun na sa loob ng bahay. Board game recommendations by ShikiYuki right here. So that's it for this video. Again, this is ShikiYuki signing off, and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Without further ado, guys, I give you my best regards. Cheers! So, like officially wrapping up the video, bali, Arbos Apfel, Blitz, Deca Slayer, Blitz, the Enchanted Tower, Micro Robots, Liberatores, Space Dogs, Rapids, STEM Epic Heroes, Hail the Unicorns, Super Rhino, Halli Galli, the Rolling Witch, and then Talinghaga. And that's that.